Hey guys, so I've decided to add a item to the Ranger to help out with hunting. It's a hitch hoist. It'll help load into the back. Where I hunt out up north, usually by myself, or I'll have to go get somebody to help load. So this will kind of help eliminate that issue. Real quick, this thing is filthy. So I went with the HME Hitch Hoist. It says it's got a 400-pound capacity. We'll give that a test. We'll see how it does. I'm hopeful and optimistic that this thing will help out quite a bit. We'll end up putting it down in the hitch down here. My only concern is where this comes down. I think that may be too close to the ground, and I'm probably going to end up putting a receiver hitch extension on it to bring it out and push it up a little higher. But let's get this thing opened up and see what's in it. All right, in the box, looks like we've got some hitch pins, some hardware, nuts and bolts, the different sections, cable, Gambrel. I'm not sure what's in this yet. Get that open. Okay, the hand crank winch, all the other pieces. So I'm gonna get all this stuff unboxed and start putting it together. I do like on the packaging on this that they did zip tie most every big item together. I've had deliveries in the past where everything's just loose and the box ends up getting a hole in it, just kind of like this one did, and you end up losing half your stuff. So good job on the packaging. So it did come with instructions and a parts list of everything that's included and how to put it together. So we'll run through this real quick, make sure everything is here, and start getting this thing put together. All right, looks like everything's there in the parts list. On the winch, that's fairly self-explanatory. Take this nut off. That's going to stay down there, and you'll put on the hand crank. And the nut is a nylon locking nut. Put it on there, tighten it up. It's 3/4 inch size. Okay, let's move on. Okay, first thing it says to do is install the support foot into the main frame. That's what's going to go inside the receiver hitch, and that's where it's going to swivel up on top, and the support foot will pin in there at the bottom. So I'll get that thrown together. All right, the way that gets put together, you can see here, it's got both extensions, takes 2 pins, so we'll have to pin 2 different holes on this since it's only got one. That's in. And then the support foot. Gotta think a little bit first, I guess. So that'll get pinned. I'll just pin it here at the bottom for now. See where it all needs to go once we install it. Okay, that's that. All right, that's together. We'll just test fit it. See how it goes, but I've got my suspicion still that, yeah. So it don't give you much room with everything pinned in, so I am going to go ahead and purchase a extension to at least get it kicked up about 6 inches, 8 inches or so. As that foot had a foot and a half, 2 foot of worth of holes for height, so I can get that thing kicked up quite a bit higher, so I can just leave it pinned in while I'm hunting. I don't have to worry about taking off, putting it in the back every time I want to load something. All right. Okay, so the next step is going to be installing the main upright with the thrust bearing. I'll probably go ahead and put some grease on that bearing and get it popped in there. So the thrust bearing has these 2 grooved washers for the rollers to ride in. I'm just going to use some wheel bearing grease on it, just to help things out a little bit. I'm sure this is not going to be a item that gets a regular PM on it, so just as well help it out as much as we can now. This grease will help keep a lot of the water out of it, but if you're in a sandy environment, real dusty, which I'm usually not, then probably worth taking this thing apart and cleaning the bearing out occasionally and putting some new grease in it. So that should work just fine. Okay, get this tossed back on. The support bar. And get it put in down here. Not too bad. It came with a hitch pin, so when you don't want to rotate it, just leave that in there. Okay, let's see what's next. Alright, next we've got just a straight piece. And that's just going to slide in there. Got new pins. It's going to require 2 hands. Tight fit. Okay, that's in. Alright, and next we'll be adding the top frame to it. And the top frame's the same. Pins in. Alright, we'll get the winch installed. That is on its upper setting also. There's another hole down here to shorten it up some, which I'll probably go ahead and shorten it for fishing that cable through there and get the winch mounted. I think we'll be about done. Okay. Alright, next up's installing the winch. It did come with 2 bolts, 4 washers, and 2 non-locking nuts. The bolt heads are 16 millimeter and the locking nuts are a 17 millimeter head. I'm going to go ahead and put some anti-seize on these just because anti-seize helps quite a bit whenever it's a bolt that you don't plan on taking out for a while. Just watch out getting the stuff on you because you'll wear it for a while. Alright, let's get the winch installed. Alright, that's mounted. Next thing will be to run the cable through and tie it back into the winch. So looks like it comes with a good bit of cable for that and a eye to hook onto the Gambrel. We'll get that cable fished up through that pulley, through both those holes to the back pulley and down to the winch. And it does show how to braid the cable on the drum. So we'll get that all done and this thing will be pretty much done except for adding the extension down there. And I'm having a difficult time finding as big a one that I want. I'd like to put a 12-inch on it to just make sure it's up out of the way. So I may end up building one in the next few days. Alright, let's get this cable on. Alright, off camera I measured the cable and it looks like it came with about 26 feet. So it should be more than enough for this thing. So we'll go ahead and get it routed up into here. And then double check again exactly how to tie it off to this drum. So hold on just a second. Okay, so from what it's showing, the cable is going to come in to the drum, come out of one of the holes on the side of the drum, then back in one, over the axle shaft, back out, and it'll lay underneath where you first poked it out at, and that's what'll lock it in. So these are the holes. Cable come through, out one, in, and come across to another one. So we'll go ahead and get that tied up on there. Okay, let's get this cable in. So from what I'm seeing, inside the drum, goes out, back in, and up and around the axle shaft, and back out through this hole. Okay. And then it'll get tucked up under this. So get all our slack pulled out. Okay. So it came in, out, back in, went around the back side of the axle shaft, back in through that hole, and underneath. So we'll go ahead and get this thing cranked up. All right, cable's on the winch. Attached to the Gambrel. It does have this guide that the Gambrel goes in, which will help whenever you have something hanging off here to keep it from spinning on you. Overall, I think it'll work. It'll definitely help whenever I'm out by myself and I need to load deer in the back of this thing. It's been more than once I've had to go get help to load. But overall, I think it all will work out just fine. Here in about a month, I'll be going up north to hunt, and we will see how well it works. But the only other thing I need to do is I'll get an extension built in the next few days for this thing. I'm going to bring it up probably 12 inches. And that should be enough for that foot to clear, so when I am driving around, that foot doesn't get hung on a lot of stuff. Worst case, I have it up high enough I can pull that foot out of there until I need it. Since it is a two-piece design, I should be able to. Anyways, thanks. We'll do a follow-up on this after we actually use it and see how well it works. Give us a thumbs up if you found the information beneficial. Thanks, bye.